here now you can see the synchronous version of close here, dir dot close synchronously. All the synchronous version we can use combinedly. Here you can see, here you can see the dir data variable. This variable will have something like the following output here. Here we are going to print this variable. Here you can see console.log dir data. What it contains? It contains the dir.read synchronously. That means it read the directory and return the data here, like direct name of that directory here, dot keep, and type of that directory and the number here. One directory is there. Okay. So this is the output of this file. That is direct name of that directory with the symbol and type and the number. Okay. Then another example here you can see, like to get the path of the currently open directory. How we can get the path of that directory? Okay, so here constant fs is equals to require fs, then fs dot open directory. We are going to open one directory here. Okay, with that parameters like path and what callback here. Then we are going to print that directory path, like using path function, using path object. Here you can see console.log dir dot path. What it will return? It will return the path of that directory. Here that path we have already mentioned here, dot slash files. What it will return? It will return dot slash file. Here you can see the output of this code. Okay, so this code is for getting the path of that currently open directory. The directory we are opening, it will return. If you want to get that path of that currently open directories file, that time we can use this directory dot path here. Okay, here uh, you can see that the output of the row is the output of the first console.log statement here. As I said, this is the statement of this is the output of this statement, console.log directory path. It will give as the path name of that file. Okay, here the read function without any argument returns a promise that resolves with the same direct object as the example above. We have seen the example what it returns here. If we read the directory, here you can see we have opened the directory, read the directory, and here you can see error.direct. That means we are going to print the direct from direct means that elements from that directory here, console.log, that is direct means we are going to get the output like that elements from that directory here. Okay, so the output of that, it is the direct object here, which has the name of the first file in the directory. This is the first file in the directory, that is keep. Okay, this is the folder from that directory which we are going to open here. Okay, then listing multiple pieces of directory content with open directory. If one file is, or one, if there is any directory like abc1 is directory, inside the directory there are multiple directories or multiple files. So how to list the elements from that directory? So here there is one example for that. Here write constant fs is equals to require fs, then fs dot open the directory. Here with the object of that file handler, open the directory, you give by passing that parameters like path name and callback here error. If is there any error, it will return. Okay, then callback here directory. Inside the bracket print console.log directory path. First it will print the path. Okay, then using that directory handle directory dir dot read that directory. Okay, inside that pass the parameter. If is there any error, it will give an error. Otherwise it will proceed further, that is direct. It will give us a direct from that directory. Okay, so inside that we are going to print console.log direct. Similarly again read, then print that direct, and at last close that directory. Here if execute, we will execute this code, it will give us, first it will print the directory path, then number of direct in this directory, like direct name, first file, then their type, and second file, then their type. Okay, this is the way we can list the multiple elements or multiple pieces inside the directory. Okay, or the contents of that open directory. Yeah, we have seen this explanation for that example here. Okay, so whenever if you want to get that first two items in the directory, okay, or one of first or third, then based on our requirement, if you want to get the items from the directory, then how we can access this? We can access this using dir.read. We have seen this dir.read here. Here you can see we have seen that dir.read. Here you can see example for this, how we can access these first two items from that current directory. Here you can see take one file handler for that constant fs is equals to required fs load that or import that file system here. Then after that, take fs this file handle and open the directory with that asynchronously. Here you can see files, then call back asynchronously, open that directory and print that directory path. Then here you can see constant take one variable item one is equals to await. Await is here. Here you can see. Then directory dot read. It will read the directory and print that item. Similarly, for item 2, await directory dot read and print that item and close the directory. Here what is the output for that? We will get the folder contains, okay, what we will get here we should get the same output as what we had above, assuming we got the same folder contents as before. Here you can see like files and the folder names. Okay, so as we can see, it's not practical to use those methods. Like we cannot use these methods in practically, like returning only two items, returning only three items. Okay, so this example is for the read function, how we can read the elements or items from that current directory here. Okay, then next, yeah, this example we have seen here. If we want to get the number of items here, that is here you can see, if you want to get more than two items, here we have seen for only two items. If you want to get more than two items, then we can use the loops here. Okay, so here you can see constant fs and is equal to require fs, import that file system here, and with that object fs dot open directory, open the directory asynchronously with that callback here, and use while loop. Here you can see while item is equals to await dir dot read. Okay, and close that while loop and print that item, and at last directory dot close. Here if we run this code, what we will get? We will get all the contents of that directory here. That directory, inside that directory, number of folders, number of files. Okay, all these are where we'll get as the output. Here we will note that here you can see, here we use await keyword here inside the while loop, await keyword. So what it will do, it will repeatedly run the dir dot read function here. Here you can see await, what await keyword will do, it will read, it will repeatedly run this await, or sorry, it will, the await will repeatedly run this dir dot read function. Okay, until it is null or it will return undefined. That means at the end there is null. That means all files are what we can say return or read by that file handler. Okay, so await will repeatedly run this function. Okay, and at last it will print that all the items from that folder. Okay, or directory, and at last close that directory to free this memory. Okay, so here direct, to check if a direct object is a directory, we can use is directory function, or to check that that current item or that current direct is a file, for that is file function is there. Here you can see the example how to check that current directory is a file or it's a current direct is a file or directory. For that there are two functions, is directory and is file. Here you can see the example, constant fs is equals to require fs. Here fs dot first open the directory asynchronously with that error and that callback here. Then while item is equals to await dir dot read, we have seen that await will repeatedly run this command. Okay, this function, and after that print that what we can say contents or items from that directory. And how we can check that it is directory or it is file? For that one function is there for checking, that is return file or return element is directory or file. For directory, console.log is directory. If it is directory, use dollar inside the bracket item dot is directory function. Similarly for file, item dot is file function. Okay, and at last close the directory. If we run this code, what it will give? it will give output as if. After checking direct name of that file, and if it will check if it is directory, no, it is not directory. Okay, so it will return as false. Is file, it is true. That is, next one is direct name that file.txt. It is directory, no, it will give as false. Then is file, yes, it is file, true, it will give as a true. Then it will check for next direct, that is file2.txt. It will check for directory, is it directory, it will, if it is directory, it will. So now here you can see the file2.txt is the file, so it is not a directory, so is directory colon false, it will give. On is file, yes, this will give as a true, so it will give as a true and false result for that is directory or is file function. Okay, so we have seen that how we can check that element from the directory is a file or directory here. Okay, so thank you. So this is the end of your chapter number 3. Okay.